Hi everyone, I'm Cryptic Girl from Henna Hotties, and this video is going to show you how to roll a henna comb. This is one that's already rolled for you so you can see what we're working with. Now, this is what you're going to need for it. We have some, I've already cut this, so I'll just explain how. These are triangles of Mylar. Mylar is a waterproof, light resistant material. It's a cellophane. You can get Mylar paper. I would advise against that because as soon as you put wet henna in Mylar paper, you're going to have a big old mess. So make sure that you get Mylar cellophane. Now what I've done is I cut these into 6-inch squares, 6 inches by 6 inches, and then I cut them along the diagonal to make the triangles that you're going to need. You can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. And some people like 12-inch squares, 8-inch squares, and then they cut them in a diagonal. And some people take the square and roll it so they have more room to close it. I like to make my cones thin like this. This is one that's already filled and closed. I like to make them thin and short because then they work like pencils. You just have to hold them like this and put a little gentle pressure here, and that squeezes the henna out. And when you have a really fine tip like this, which the Mylar is great for, you can get some very delicate designs if you're working with really good henna. So what we're going to do, oh, wait a minute. Before we do that, let me show you something else here. When working with Mylar, this is just a cosmetic thing, but you have two kinds of tape that you can get. This is magic tape. It's got a matte finish. On paper, it becomes completely invisible, and that's fantastic. On Mylar, not so much. So when you're looking for tape, if it says invisible, it's invisible on paper. You want to get crystal clear tape, which that can be a little tricky. We've had a few snafus with ordering it. Once we finally figured out what we were doing, we realized you have to order the crystal clear tape. It's completely clear and it's cellophane. So on Mylar, it's going to look great. All right, so what we do is, you notice you have a silver side, and then this can be silver or it can be whatever color. I've got the red, the pink, and the green here. We're going to use this pink one. You're going to put the pretty side down so it shows. And you're going to hold it like this. All right. Put your finger on the tip of the point of your triangle and then hold this end down. Grab this end with your fingers and start folding it around, making a tube. Once you get it somewhat rolled up, you're going to take your finger and you're going to put it inside the tip of the tube and fold that over. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, and I don't know how good it's going to show on this video, but you want to wiggle your finger inside and the one that's out against each other until you tighten that Mylar and get the tip of the cone as tight and as fine as possible. Once you get it like that, just hold it tight and grab a piece of tape and wrap it around the end to hold it in place. Okay, then you just tape up the seam. My suggestion, don't try and tape the seam in one big long run because tape and Mylar don't tend to play nice together. So you want to do it in small sections. Make sure you tape up the entire seam so you don't have any blowouts. Mylar is extremely strong. It can handle a lot of pressure. And when you do a cone like this, there's no actual seam that can blow out. Sometimes if you can order those manufactured cones, they actually melt the seam. And I've used them. I don't necessarily recommend them because they do tend to blow out, especially when you're working with really fine tip and you're trying to get a very delicate design out, because you do put a lot of pressure on the cone itself. So there you have it. One Mylar cone ready to be filled. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped. Please don't forget to comment or rate. Every little bit helps. We'll see you later. This is Cryptic Girl from Henna Hotties.